Birth of the Dragon is long foreseen. This is going to be one very small weekend at the box office. Even putting aside Hurricane Harvey and the much-anticipated MMA fight between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and McGregor in Las Vegas, the next 2 weeks have almost nothing of note opening, which will leave moviegoers primed for the scary clown movie floating into theaters on September 8th. But there were indeed 3 new wide releases this weekend. The tail end of August can sustain a decent release, as Don't Breathe showed us last year, but with little of note opening and most of the holdovers played out. It was no weekend for theatrical moviegoers. So, without further ado, the biggest newbie of the weekend, entirely by default, was Weinstein Company's Leap. The animated drama about a young woman who wants to be a ballerina earned around $1.65 million yesterday for what will likely be an under $5 million opening weekend. The French-Canadian animated film features the voices of Kate McKinnon, Carly Rae Jepsen, Maddie Ziegler, Mel Brooks and Nat Wolff, who also stars in the Netflix-released Death Note. It's the latest underwhelming animated release, as the once surefire subgenre has been in a major slump since the end of March. Yes, Universal, Comcast Corp's Despicable Me 3 is a big exception. But otherwise, DreamWorks Animation's Captain Underpants, Walt Disney's Cars 3 and Sunny's The Emoji Movie have all somewhat underwhelmed. BH Tilt's Birth of the Dragon earned $1.107 million yesterday for a likely $2.872 million debut weekend. It's another BH Tilt semi-wide release, with a targeted 1/16/18 screen release, which would have been okay had it cleared even $3.25 million this weekend. But the goofy fictionalized version of the infamous 1962 Bruce Lee, Philip Ng, Wong Jackman, Yusha Kung Fu match, a film which tells the story from the point of view of a fictional white guy, Billy Magnuson, who sets up the fight partially to help a damsel in distress love interest, was not going to catch on no matter how good Ng is as the late Mr. Lee. This one almost plays as spoof of whitewashed Hollywood biopics. And if that isn't enough excitement for one weekend, Sony affirms All Saints was a rare miss for Sony's faith-based output, as there was a time in 2014 to 2016, Miracles from Heaven, War Room, Heaven is for Real, etc., when they were just knocking these things out of the park on a semi-regular basis. Thus far, Lionsgate's The Shack, $53 million, and Pureflix's Case for Christ, $14 million, are the only big faith-based hit of the year. The low-profile John Corbett drama, about a company man turned pastor who tries to save a local church for the sake of incoming Burma refugees, earned around $575,000 on Friday for a likely $1.55 million weekend. This is a $2 million budgeted drama, so I don't think anyone should be too concerned. Finally, for what it's worth, Terminator 2: Judgment Day returned to theaters this weekend via 463 3D auditoriums. The James Cameron action classic earned around $275,000 yesterday for what will likely be a $880,000 weekend. That's not good, even by the standards of 1980s and 1990s classics doing the 3D reissue thing. Top Gun 3D, which also played in IMAX, earned $1.9 million in its opening weekend in 2013, while Raiders of the Lost Ark earned $1.6 million via same in 2012. And that's not even counting much bigger and more high-profile reissues, Titanic, The Lion King, Jurassic Park, etc., over the last several years. Nonetheless, the reissue, which was dominated at the last moment by James Cameron's controversial Wonder Woman comments, will push the picture's domestic total over $205 million.